This is Kevin Mayo, and today I'm drinking 603 Brewing 18-mile rye pale ale. Now, rye beers are one of my favorite beers. A couple of my favorite beers of all time are ryes, and they tend to be peppery and spicy, so they really jazz up a pale ale or an IPA with a little bit of a different flavor. 603 Brewing's out of Londonderry, New Hampshire. Fairly typical story. Started as home brewers. They've opened their own brewery, and looking at their website, looks like they've grown quite a bit over the last year or two. And 18 Mile comes from the coast of New Hampshire. It is the shortest coastline in the United States. It's only 18 miles long, and so that's where it comes from, rye pale ale. And it was canned on June 22nd, so we're about 2.5 months old, because this is Labor Day weekend. So let's give it a crack and see what we got. As always, if you like the reviews, please subscribe. We're always looking for new friends. And go ahead and leave comments, because the best thing about beer, the second best thing about beer is talking about it. The best thing is obviously drinking it. So we've got a fairly dark yellow, actually, on the darker side of a pale ale. Very light carbonation. There's only a few bubbles streaming up through it. We've got about a finger and a half, say just slightly off white head. We'll do the aroma. So again, a nice roasted malt, like almost like caramel. And maybe just a hint of pine. I'm not really picking up much in the way of aromatic hops. So let's go in for the taste. Wow, it's got a nice sweetness to it. Almost like a, like a pineapple is what I was thinking. The finish is nice and bitter. Not overly drying. It's the tongue doesn't dry out. I do get a little bit of that spicy pepperiness right at the very front of it, right at the very first taste of it. Like I said, but the dominant thing was I was getting that sweetness, that pineapple. Then the peppery kind of finishes at the back end. It's really quite refreshing in the fact that it's hitting some classic notes that you'd expect in the type of the style, but it also is just slightly different than everything else I've been drinking for the last, seems like, year. Because I tend to overemphasize IPAs, but they're all, you're getting dank. You get either West Coast or New England style lately. The East Coast is kind of faded out. Everybody's trying to do the New England style. So this has got that hint of pineapple fruit in there. It's got the hint of the rye. It finishes bitter, but not crazy bitter. Not a wash of bitter. It's refreshing. Yeah, really nice beer. Only got one of these. My son gave them to me. Again, always my favorite beer is free beer. Thank you, Nate. Wish I had a couple more. I think I would like to drink some of this watching the ball game later today. But score-wise, it's a solid beer. I mean, I'm liking it. It's really good. It's refreshing. It's different. Wish I had more. But it's not something I'm going to get in the car and drive the 150 miles to New Hampshire just to get it either. So, score-wise, it's a solid. I'd say it's a B+. We'll give it an 88 out of 100. So, until next time, keep drinking.